On today's DNVR Nuggets podcast, Denver Nuggets and Serbia national team assistant coach Ogi Stojakovic is in the house. We're live in 30 seconds. Best sign that the season is almost here.
That we have some connection to the team?
Exactly. That's what I mean. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR show.
Let's go.
Live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your frontline Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Special edition of the show today, because as you guys all know, we have a special guest. The bronze medalist in the Olympics, Ogi Stojakovic.
Hi, guys.
Ogi also,
I'm not sure how much I'm special, but thank you.
Very special.
Yeah,
very special.
I love like the built-in humility of the Serbian. This is something I really appreciate. Although
you should practice
bump it up. You're with the three actual nobodies. You should actually.
That's true.
You should puff up your chest a little bit.
NBA champion and Olympic bronze medalist. We're
I
going to
think
break all
the
that down.
first Olympic medalist we've had on the show.
Man, that's a great question.
Did Vlatko win a medal?
He didn't win an
Not
Olympic medal.
Olympics.
Yeah, he did have a Eurobasket, I believe, silver. Or maybe it was gold. It was Eurobasket gold, I think they
Gold.
won. So, yeah, I think he has a medal. But
Where's,
not
where's the
Olympics.
bronze medal right now?
Actually, only players got it. So,
Oh, that's right about Olympics. I actually knew this.
Only
So wait a minute,
players,
that doesn't
and
feel right.
we should get a replica. So
You
which
get a
is okay.
replica?
Yes, I
That's the
still
same
didn't get
thing.
it, but
Really?
I should get it.
What about championship ring? Did you get that?
I got that.
Okay, at least I
At least that.
I feel like coaches should get a medal.
It is interesting, though. This is Olympics across all sports, I think, that coaches don't get medals for it.
Interesting.
I remember hearing about that.
I can't believe we still have not had a medalist on this show.
I know. That's actually true.
And I agree with you. Coaches should get it.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sticking up for the coaches.
Oh, man.
You want to be my assistant?
Hey,
So Ogi has, I mean, your life weaves in and out of every storyline that our audience and us enjoy. Obviously, all the Nuggets, all of Jokic, all of Serbian history. So we have a lot to get to. So I want to dive right in. The first thing is, you know, we were wondering and speculating for a long time whether or not Jokic was going to play in this Olympics. When did you know?
Hard question. Hard question. Like officially, when season was over, right? But you know, like I think that we know each other very well, so I could assume in certain moment of season that he's going actually to play. But again, we have that kind of relationship that I'm not getting in certain area. I'm not trying to push, and he knows that and he respects that. So it was his time and he's ready to say it. He said it. So
Gotcha. You just know each other so well. You know the body language. You know the temperature. One of the things I wonder, though, is Jokic's personality. He seems to, and all we get is to see videos that go on social media. We don't see anything. But he seems to, when he's around his Serbian teammates, who he knows really well, speaks the language, it almost is like he's more himself and more open. Like, how do you think he's different when he's around that team versus around American players or his Nuggets team?
I mean, that's normal. Think about that. Like, those are guys that grow up together, right?
Yeah.
He knows those guys for maybe last 15 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not 15, but 10 years for sure. Mm-hmm. And then, they kind of like grow up together. I mean, that's it. And then they meet during the summer. They have their own stories. They have their own life, their own, bubble. And, of course, it's fun. I mean, it will be fun for you as well.
Right. Is it the same for you, would you say?
Yes.
Absolutely. How well do you know the coaching staff out there? Like, are those people you've known for a long time?
I mean, we started to cooperate last year on the World Cup. But again, their national team is everything about team, it's everything about family. So we spent so much time together, like hanging around, and we build really close relationship, friendly relationship. Even now we have our own group. We're texting to each other, sharing all those funny pictures and jokes. So, that's, it's like family.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have looked at the rundown. How is your role going to be affected now with the news of Coach Pesic moving on? Are you still part of the?
I mean, that's something that, his contract expired, our GM Tarlach contract expired. So, we all know that that's going to happen, So now it's like we're going to see, what's going to be next step. Our association needs to elect new president, and then new president needs to choose new head coach, and so on and so on. So it's a process. We're gonna see.
Yeah, how many? What is that process? Like, how many people are involved in that decision making? How big is the federation?
Honestly, I don't wanna lie to you. I don't know details about that. But from my standpoint, what I strongly believe in is continuity. And I think that's the most important thing. And continuity is something that we, as a small country, Serbia, who has only 7 million people, we need to build on that. And last 2 years, we built up a good system. We basically rebuilt that national team cult, something that we were famous about, right? And, I think that continuity is the most important thing. So, if I need to say something here officially, if new president come, if I were him, I would probably talk again with Coach Pesic and, try to figure out how to keep him in basketball or to keep him as a head coach or just kind of let's build up on things that which already work.
Yeah.
Is that a basketball belief? Is that more true of a national team since it's only getting together, for a couple months, not even all throughout the season? Or is that something you believe is true? Even Denver Nuggets, NBA, everything, continuity is the most important thing.
I believe in continuity.
You believe in it?
I believe in continuity. I study sport and physical education, and one of the exams that I had, it was about sports science, and one of the lines that I'll never forget, continuity is a key for sports success.
Okay.
I mean, something like that,
Right.
but that's the point of the line.
What's Bogdanovich like as a personality? I mean, we kind of love that guy.
We totally love that
We
guy.
totally love that guy.
How
We
close
want
are
him
you
on
to
the
him?
Nuggets.
Are you? Do you know his agent?
I love him too.
What's his personality like? Because he kind of has a baby face, happy, but then he gets into the moment and he's like a menace.
Yes, he's. If I need to pick one word to describe him as a player, I would say he's a killer.
A killer.
Oh,
Yes, he has that killer instinct, and he knows what he's doing.
I want to ask about the first Team USA game in pool play, not the exhibition, but the pool play game.
Okay.
It was close for about 1.5 quarters, and then the game kind of opens up. As a staff, in group play, how much of it is we want to win this game and we're going to do it, and how much of it is, well, we just want to test and see how things go?
We had strategically, right?
Yeah.
We had our goal, and we did everything what we did according to that goal.
Okay.
So for us it was okay, let's start and let's be second best. Sorry, let's be best second team in
Gotcha.
at the Olympics, because unfortunately how they explained us at the beginning, that would mean that we couldn't meet USA team until finals.
Yeah.
And that was kind of okay, when we start to analyze what is realistic, where are we at, and so on, that was our kind of plan. It's not that we lost that game purposely, but I just said okay, there is we had a plan.
Right.
So anyhow, I hope that I answered your question,
Yeah.
but that's kind of beginning.
What happened then? So, because I thought that was the rule too. If you're in the same group, you don't match up. You don't know what happened.
No comment.
Are you here to officially subscribe to the conspiracy that France
somehow France ended up on
gerrymandered
the
Hey,
other
we'll
side
say
of the
it. You can
bracket.
just say no comment. We will say it. It was all conspiracy.
No comment. Again, one more time. No comment, but whatever you guys say, I agree with you. No comment. I have no comment.
Okay, we've seen this with the Nuggets over the years, and we've even seen it, I think, with Serbia. But it seems like Nikola, as he gets older and more experience, it seems like he's even more involved with just the game planning, the coaching. His voice matters a lot. How how much input does he have, on Team Serbia when it comes to, game planning and strategy and stuff like that? Because I got to think it increases as he gets older and more experienced.
It's like, let's start from the basics. He's one of the best basketball players that ever played this game, right? So, and of course, every time he speaks, everyone wants to listen at least to listen and analyze, And, of course, his voice matters. And the good thing is actually that as you said, as older as he gets, he's started or he starts to speak more, which is great,
Yeah.
And then, good thing about, let me just give you continuity to this is basically we have Coach Pesic is one of the best coaches in the world ever. He won literally everything, and he's also the guy who wants to hear some other people's thoughts and ideas and so on and so on. And then of course he thinks about that, analyze at the end, makes decision. But as I said, all those things, if we are talking about Serbian national team, is connected. And if we are talking straight about Nikola, it is great. It's great that he's talking, and that's how it should be. Because he has something to say.
Is there a cultural difference between the NBA, where maybe it's more open that a player would give suggestion versus maybe in Serbia, or is it's kind of the same?
It's everything is individual.
Yes. Circumstantial.
Exactly.
And Jokic's status, everybody knows he's high enough. Yeah.
Did Pesic ever mention seeing me in the airport the one time?
Can we find that picture of Eric and Coach
He
Pesic?
just texted me and told me to say hi.
Because I got to say, in the moment, he didn't seem that excited about it.
Well, you were throwing some lineup questions at him, right?
Yeah,
Some
yeah. I was
rotation
like,
questions.
hey, can we take a picture? He was like... But it's cool to know that he talks about it.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. What was going through your head in the Australia game, quarterfinals, down 20 points immediately? What's going through your head?
It's kind of like we got in a game. We had game plan, of course, and we also had adjustments. So we started with things that we already kind of doing, and with our game plan. And just things didn't go in the right direction, and we pull out adjustment, and that's the game. We figure out, we reacted.
Yeah, you figured it out barely.
I know, but we reacted.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we won the game. That was kind of. Those things are happening, but the main thing again, we were prepared for that thing. We reacted. As you said, in the right moment, in my opinion, and then again, it was okay, it's -24, it's fine. Let's go. What do we need to do? Let's get before halftime. Let's get down to -10.
Right.
So we get down. It was halftime was -12.
Okay. Close.
I think it was around -12. Okay, third quarter. Let's go to be -5. So we literally played possession by possession or quarter by quarter.
Right.
And then we finished third quarter with equal. The game was equal. And then from there, okay, let's play. So anyhow, those things are happening, and it happens.
Yeah. You guys are much more relaxed about it than we were.
I was going to say, we were not taking it quarter by quarter.
If you in those moments, the only thing that you can if you do whatever sport you do, in those moments you just need to have a clear head. You live in that moment, in that situation. If you start to think about loss, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. What about now the second USA game? It feels to me like Team USA took Serbia more seriously than anybody else. Did it feel like that to you guys?
So they took us seriously from the beginning, even from that preseason
exhibition.
Game. Yeah, because it's kind of of course, if you have Nikola Jokic in one team, you need to take us seriously. Plus, you have Bogdanovic, you have a lot of guys there who are legit basketball players. And but the good thing about that game, that I would like to say it, is because we lost the game. They didn't beat us. And I know it sounds same, but it's not the same. It's completely different. We lost the game because we controlled that game from the beginning to the end. At the end, we made mistakes.
Right.
Couple mistakes. And because we made those mistakes, we lost the game. And again, for me personally, as a coach, if you play against one of the best basketball teams probably ever,
Yeah.
you know, and to play like game at the end that you lose that game, I think that means a lot.
So we saw the Serbia, we saw Jokic and the players and stuff. They rebounded nicely from it, win the bronze medal, and they had a good time. You know? And I'm honestly impressed by that. You know, like they're and they rebounded. But how was it for you? You know, was that one that you were losing sleep over that night, and we were this close, or was it one you're like we gave it a best shot and made a few mistakes?
Yes.
It was that one.
It was that one. I mean, like, okay, we knew we came there to win medal.
Yeah.
That was our goal.
Yeah.
You know, and like, okay, next game was Germany.
Yeah.
We lost against them last year at the World Cup. Okay, we knew them. We knew what we need to do, and we step on the court. Players, as you said, like they reacted great. They step up and they won the game.
Yeah.
So were you there when you guys go back to Belgrade and you get welcome back?
The balcony,
the balcony. You're there with
Yes.
the whole team with that. What was that moment like? Because you could see the emotion in some of the players. So I got to think it was a really like emotional moment.
I mean, I can kind of get used to that, right?
Come on.
I mean, I had 3 balconies in 2 years.
He's bored of adulation.
No big deal.
Bored of adulation.
No
So,
big deal.
where would you say, like, this was the most interesting Olympics tournament, like the most interesting non-NBA tournament I've personally paid attention to. Like, where does this rank for you, this Olympics, like, is in all of the tournaments you've been a part of? Like, how impactful was this?
I mean, I think, let me answer first on your question, then on yours. Like, seriously.
Mine first, please.
So, I mean, I think because when you start to think about how many NBA players you had at Olympics, it is really impressive. When you start to think about, like, I mean, game USA against us, just think how many MVPs you had on the court at the same time. I mean, that's really impressive. Probably like, I mean, if you don't count, if we had let Giannis maybe, Kawhi, and I don't want to skip anyone, but like miss anyone, but probably in the last 20 years, the best basketball players in the world were competing in one game. But then we're going to add all those teams, other teams, and their players. I mean, I think it was very, very impressive. And that's good for basketball.
It was great basketball.
We loved it.
Basketball is growing. And I mean, we all know that it's growing, but it's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Those are great things.
I think you almost feel the growth in style in the Olympics more almost than the NBA. I just thought that was good basketball, really high level.
Exactly. But that's the thing, like, I had like, I said it in Serbia, it was like, one podcast similar like this.
A worse one, though. Not as good.
But not as good as you said. So, like, it's always funny, like, when I'm here, for example, they're always said, like, yeah, that's FIBA, When I go at home, they're like, yeah, that's NBA, that's different, like, And for me, that's very funny because... it reminds me of those old Kung Fu movies, when they are arguing who has better Kung Fu. My Kung Fu is better than your Kung Fu.
I love
and
this.
we are living in an era of MMA.
Okay, yeah.
It's like you need to know a little bit of
Yes.
everything. You need to pick up the best things from each and every style, right?
Yeah.
And to, like, embrace that according to who you are as a nation or player or whatever. So, like, I think that's the reason why those Olympics were so fun and so great, because it was mix of everything. And it was, again, basketball is growing. I don't know in which direction. For now, it seems that it's going to go in that MMA direction, right?
Yeah. That's
Mix of
I
everything.
love that point. Let's take our break on that one because I want to ask you more about that very take on the other side. And also on the other side, we're going to have a little rakia together.
We're going to bring
share a little rakia.
our drunken style of Kung Fu.
I was barely waiting for this moment.
on the other side.
Guys, shout out to Miller Lite. Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer, perfect for any occasion. Miller Lite, they keep it simple, undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. It's the beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters most. A light beer that tastes like beer. Less filling, only 96 calories. The original light beer since 1975. Perfect for any occasion. a lot of those light beers out there, they don't taste like beer. Miller Lite does. Super easy to drink, goes down smooth, clean, refreshing, simple ingredients, and great taste. So times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, MillerLite.com/DNVR, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces.
The best Miller time is after winning a bronze medal, I would say.
That's right.
Bet365, Never Ordinary.
There you go.
We all know about Bet365, Never Ordinary on this very podcast. We've made quite a few wagers. Dev generally leads you into riches, fame, and fortune if you listen to his picks. Don't listen to mine or Adam's picks. That'll leave you into ruin and terror. But yeah, dude. I'm out, man.
2 weeks of losing.
So there's the one thing that's great about Bet365, there's tons of boosts. Every day we power up the odds on hundreds of bets to give you a chance to win more with over 10,000 boosts every month. With boost-specific markets, your winnings, and even parlays, keep an eye out for our custom DNVR bets and boosts every now and again. Andre will give his ideas. Again, if we find out that Adam gave the boost, don't take it. Don't take it, but it's available. It just keeps it, they keep it interesting. Bet365, it's never ordinary. If you use the code DNVR365 at sign up, you will get, what do we get now these days?
You have a pick between two different bets.
That's right.
You can bet $5 and get 200 in bonus bets instantly, or the first bet safety bet offered by placing a bet up to $1,000, and if your qualifying bet loses, you receive a match refund and bonus bets.
It's unbelievable. You must be 21 and over and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
I was also going to say, we have a 3-on-3 tournament on October 5th. We could use a coach. If you're free. Saturday, October 5th.
A coach? I thought we could get a ringer.
Or that. I mean, we already have a pretty stacked team, as you can see there. Me, Dev, and Adam. But we could use a coach.
So can I coach from your bar?
Just on the phone.
Just zoom in.
I'm just asking. So I'm not sure.
There's a bar at the basketball social house.
That's right. Give me Miller time.
So, Ogi, you said that you know body language with Jokic, people you're around, Can we pull up the picture, Kale? This is Coach Pesic meeting Eric at the airport. Do you have the picture? Scroll on down for us so we can see it. All right, there it is. Would you say he looks excited to meet Eric there?
Yeah.
Annoyed? What do you think?
Yeah, you know the man.
The scale of 1 to 10, how excited is he?
This probably went in the Serbian team.
That's excitement.
That's
That's
excitement.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that he's kind of like, he has a little bit of fear there because he's too excited about it. So
nervous, maybe even a little nervous.
The follow-up to the story, what happened right after this is that he stole my seat. I was sitting in a seat and I got up to say hi. I got up to say hi, and then he went and he sat in my seat.
That's a great move.
So
you just had to stand and wait for the plane.
It's like I just went and bought a sandwich. I had no
You have
recourse.
to get out of there while you can.
That's worth toasting too. Okay, you come on our show. We have some rakia. This is our traditional rakia. You sip this, right? Or do you just shoot it?
Everyone has their own.
After this podcast, I'm going to
You're from Belgrade, right?
Yes.
What do they do in Belgrade?
sipping.
They sip it. All right, I'll sip it.
We'll sip it. Givli.
Givli. Oh, Iskrena.
Iskrena from our homie, Stefan Kokanovic.
Well, it's from your homie Eric, who bought it at the Belgrade airport.
Well, that is true. It actually is something you purchased.
It's been a minute since I've had Rakia.
So you want to answer Wynn's question?
Oh yeah, just the emotion on the balcony in Belgrade. What was that like?
So at the balcony, all Olympic winners or whoever won medal was there. So I mean, what can you say more than that, right? That's the first thing. Second thing, you're there at the balcony and then you start to think about next thing, which means that maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, actually 20 years, 20, even more, 25, 30 years ago, you were that one of those people who were there and who were waiting for those athletes, again, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and now you start to think about that you're at the balcony, and I don't know, your family's among all those people. Your brother is there, his kids are there, my kids are there. So it's kind of like, all that, it kinds of multiply those emotions.
Yeah, it's so cool because there's not something like that here. When the U.S. team wins gold, they don't come back.
I know.
There's
Nowhere to go.
There's no ceremony. There's no recognition like that.
But when we won as the Nuggets, right, it was similar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that was the best day of my life. But when the U.S. won, it was just another day of my life.
So you were talking. I've used the example about MMA too, because that's part of why I like international basketball. Is there's more stylistic diversity, it seems to me. So, what part of the FIBA game, or you could even say of the Serbian game, do you wish there was more of in the NBA? What do you think the NBA could learn from FIBA or from Serbia?
I'm gonna give you very simple answer because we can. I mean, this show is too short to actually start to actually discuss about basketball.
Okay.
Like in that direction, but more or less is every possession matters, and the team is everything. So if I need to give you like simple answer, that would be it.
Do you think the NBA would be better with a 40-minute game?
No.
No?
No,
Well,
it's
that's a
kind of-
shorter game, though. Every possession matters more now.
I know, but still, like, it still needs to, regardless of that, every possession needs to matter.
What,
Ah.
what about the FIBA officiating as opposed to the NBA officiating?
I don't want to talk about refs.
No?
Ogi's here so he doesn't get fined.
In all due respect.
It's a wise man over here. You know, it's
I know.
unfortunate for the interview purpose, but
I thought for sure once we gave him some Rocky, he'd get a little bit looser with these answers. But
You don't have enough right here.
we need that whole bottle for getting there.
Do you think that the Nuggets and maybe Nikola would benefit from having more Serbians on the Nuggets?
I mean, it's hard to answer to that question. I mean,
Depends on
it's-
who.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's very hard to answer. It's like, it's not yes or no answer. So
It'd be the right person.
I mean, it's. I think that the main thing is to be a right person, regardless if he's Serbian, Spanish, American, or whatever. It needs to be a right person. So
That being said,
of course, personally, I would love it, but
Yeah.
the main thing is needs to be a right person. So
Yeah.
what would a team, an NBA team of all Serbs look like? If you took that team and put it over, like, would there be a stylistic identity that would really stand out, do you think?
yes,
Best passing team in the NBA?
Unselfish, I would think.
unselfish. I mean, playing the right way. So.
Just
Yeah.
playing the right way.
I
Yeah.
know. And playing hard for sure.
What part of Jokic's game do you think is most Serbian? And here's one thing I'm always curious about. The players that spend a lot of their career in Europe and then come over, it almost like you can really tell. Luka is an interesting example because he was young when he was in Slovenia, and then he was in Spain, and then he was in America. And I feel like you can see little parts of all of it. What part of Jokic's game do you feel is Serbian, and which part do you think is maybe he's adopted since being in the NBA and being in the States?
Doing everything what is necessary to win.
Yeah.
That's Serbian thing for sure. You know what? You know, even if he doesn't need to score, or just he needs to just rebound, or even just play defense, or like do all those small things. He would do it to win the game because at the end of the day, he wants to win the game, and that's I'm not sure how much people even know that because winning at the end is the reason why you're playing.
Right.
And then I'm not sure about you say it's kind of like American. It's everything else is kind of basketball. It's kind of like, but the things that I don't know. What would you say about American part?
Well, the part that's interesting to me
About
is
the NBA part.
About the NBA part, yeah. The part that's interesting to me is Jokic in the first 4 years could score more than he wanted to, and you say anything to win. I thought there was a moment where he needed to score more to win. He almost needed to become more selfish. And
yes,
and there was
yes,
a point in time I
yes,
saw that happen.
Yes, that's kind of like how you say like gray area because this is the concept. If I have two people on myself,
Right.
and if you're open, I trust you. You're part of my team.
Right.
We are teammates. We are living
Yeah.
and we are dying together. The best shot is actually your open shot. So if you're open and you shoot it, that's a shot, and then I'm gonna rebound. That's the best shot, and I'm gonna take responsibility that we are living or dying from that shot. That's a better shot that I take some, I don't know, like bad shot. So again, that's how we coaching and that's how we play basketball. So again, it's a gray area. And is it great that he starts to take more responsibility? It is awesome. It's absolutely awesome, and it's great. And that literally put his game on the next level.
Right. Was there a moment when you noticed that happened to him? Was there a year or is there an event that you think?
He had those kind of like ups and downs, but that's how it goes in life. Like whatever we do, everything have ups and downs until you have those like almost
Get smaller.
smaller until you reach a certain point.
Yeah.
What do you remember from when Jokic first got here? I mean, you've been with him almost every step of the way since he's been to Denver. What are some of your memories from when he got here? Even as a rookie, as a younger player from back then.
Oof. It's like I think that I said this story a couple times, but it's kind of like. I knew that he doesn't like to practice. I knew that he has his own pace, that, certain things. But which is all those things, again, as I said it before, are normal for the young, talented players. So, so the main thing, like, I always remember that, like, how much we argued about those things and how much we kind of, like, bump our heads, because I was pushing in certain direction, he was pushing in other direction. That's kind of like I think that story that we are talking every time when someone asks him or me about that's something that we tell every time.
But what is an example of pushing in the other direction? Because I imagine, to me, Jokic is like a basketball genius. So almost going to practice, it's like I already know all of this stuff. So do you think it was that where it's like, yes, but the routine is necessary, or this or that? Like, what direction was he pushing against?
We start to do certain things. In my mind, like, okay, you're not athletic, right? You're long. You have great touch, but what is your game? Your game is actually to connect people. You're a great passer, and so on. So in order to be the best version of yourself, you need to a little bit, change your techniques and something that's gonna be long term. It's gonna be good for you. So we start to put that elbow a little bit higher. We work a lot of those middle range shots, a lot of those touches, all those kind of shots that he's taking. Then we start to think, okay, what is the next step? Because guys are going to be aggressive. You need to make that bucket. You need to create some kind of separation. Then, okay, put that knee high in front of you and then shoot from there. In that case, you're going to get separation.
So that was an actual literal thing you practiced was, all right, leg goes here now.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And then we start to do all those things and like he was like, why am I doing this? So I don't understand why. And now he's best in the world in all those kind of shots.
Right.
And that's the thing that we are kind of laughing about, like how much energy we kind of like, waste doing that things. But at the end of the day, it paid off. And again, after that, we build up like, what is the next thing, and next thing, and next thing, and next thing, so on and so on. But again, I don't want to bother you guys with that. But conceptually, that's thing.
Yeah. First of all, don't bother. We love those stories.
There's no
our
detail.
literal favorite thing.
Right. Yeah. We're interested in all of it. You're not bothering us.
To follow up, how can Jokic... We know, like, Nikola Jokic is one of the greatest players ever, best player, franchise history, best player in the league. How do you think he can get even better? Because there's always things every player can still improve upon.
It's main thing. Like, again, he's one of the best ever, right? And 3 times MVP, Finals MVP. The main thing now we need to start to think about his longevity, and that's realistic. Like because even if you start think like this as a man, you have your maximum strength and you have around 28, 32, 34, right? That's your maximum like man strength, right? And for big guys, you want to peak in that moment. So that's we are where we want to be. Now let's keep that longevity.
I feel like I'm still peaking.
I feel like I've passed my peak.
Dude, I don't.
I'm 40. I've got like 5 more years, I think,
I've
of
already
peaking.
peaked,
So,
for sure.
do you agree?
Yeah, I'm peaking like this and like that.
I feel like I'm peaking during this interview.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I got a lot more questions, though, about your work with Jokic. Let's take our last break. On the other side, I want to ask about the strategies you guys come up with for specific players, even if there's things that you do of that nature and just how that goes. We'll get to that on the other side.
If you need tickets to concert shows, sporting events, hit up the Game Time app. It's the best ticketing app out there. There's a lot of different choices, a lot of different ways you could go to get your tickets. Game Time, I think it's the easiest app, the cleanest interface to use out there. They have tickets for everything, concert shows, sporting events. Maybe you're going to a Rockies game. Rockies a little hot right now. I don't know if you've seen. A little hot.
You think they can do it? Can they make it?
I don't know. We'll see. Broncos games, of course. Nuggets app season coming up too. Game Time is your home for those, and concerts as well. Concert shows, whatever it might be, Game Time has it. Curated deals make it easier to find the best price on great seats. They've got views from all your seats there before you buy it. They have a lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, etc. Their curation, it makes it way easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater as well. You're going to get the best all-in pricing on Game Time as well. So you can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time.
I used Game Time just this weekend. I perched outside of the entrance to the Broncos game, and I just sat and I waited for prices to fall, and then I bought them and was disappointed beyond my wildest dreams. What is the read?
Oh,
I thought you were on it.
Premier Members Credit Union?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about Premier Members Credit Union. Let's see. There's a lot of financial institutions out there, but the one I want you to remember, Premier Members Credit Union. They're not a bank, which means they do things differently, like putting their members first with higher savings interest and lower loan rates. This is an organization that serves the community and Colorado community in particular. With PMCU, Premier Members Credit Union, you get local branches, friendly tellers, and the tools you need to save smarter, like their new high-yield savings account, or earn 5% APY on your first $2,000 with their with the reverse tier money market. Whatever your goals, they can help. PMCU is about creating better banking experience for their community. They've got the tools to help you save smarter. And when you become a new member at Premier Members Credit Union, you'll get $200. You can put that towards a Bronco game and be wildly disappointed like myself. You just have to open a checking account and sign up for e-statements. It's that easy. You will be your best. It'll be your best money move yet. Head to becomepremier.com to find out more.
Wow, you made it.
I did. Well, listen, man. I mean, like I read 3 ads a year.
This is like when the Nuggets put Bol at point guard for that
Yeah.
game.
I mean, I got
Just bring the ball up the floor. And
I got
pass it.
notified I was reading the ad as I was reading it.
Yeah.
That is true. That is what happened. All right, segment 3 here. We're with Ogi Stojakovic. So we're asking about this training with Jokic, and everybody says Jokic is his routine. He's consistent. He does a consistent routine. What does that mean? Does it mean literally the same exact workout every day without change year over year, or how is there variability in each workout?
Yes and no. So, which means fundamentally it's, let's say, same/similar workout. Changes now. He's like for 10 years in league, so it's different now than it was like first 2-3 years. Now, okay, we established certain things. He has his own routine. We are staying with that routine. But then, if he has a bad game or he doesn't feel it good, we're changing that. We are adding or just cutting certain things depending on how he feels. Also, if he plays when as closer we are to the playoffs or more important games, right? If you know that teams are going to guard him in certain ways, we kind of change that routine and we kind of adjust that to the teams how they're gonna guard him. So basically we are still using techniques, but we are working on his tactics more.
Okay.
How he's going to use it against certain players or certain teams.
How much does that translate? So how much is it like we're working on a specific thing for, we'll just say Anthony Davis. It could be any player, Rudy Gobert, any defender. But you're working on something specific, and then how much is it like the game that's actually exactly how it goes? We knew.
I mean, it seems that it goes in the right directions.
It seems so
It's
far
worked
working
out
out.
well over the last couple of years.
I
Yeah.
mean, it seems
Okay. I'm just curious. What have you like? How has Jokic changed as a person since you've known him, coming as a rookie, now becoming a father, becoming all of these things, going through the progression of becoming a man? Like how? Like what have you noticed about him?
I mean, you said it, right? He become a man. You know, he was a kid, he was a baby, right? And now he's a man, father, franchise leader, one of the best basketball players ever. That's
Yeah.
normal. And, you know,
Do you like? Does he feel the weight of these things, or is he just Jokic in all situations?
yeah, he feels that weight, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, he's, again, every loss, he thinks that we lost because of him. So it's like he put that pressure on him like a lot. So he's a winner.
How do you know that?
He doesn't want.
You just see it on him, I'm saying? I mean, like,
I know.
You just,
So I mean, he's the guy who doesn't like to lose. So.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, what other things, like when you're going through workouts, like for example, you know, his 3-point shot has been, I think, the one, I don't want to say weakness because it's not that he's weak, but he's also not strong as a 3-point shooter. You know, what goes into those types of things when you're working on 3-point shot?
I mean, it's like that's kind of a question. Like, he should, like, he scores. I don't know. Let's say for the sake of this discussion, like, he's scoring. I don't know, like, let's say 25, 10. Let's say,
Okay.
and 10 assists, right?
Right. That's actually,
He's going,
yeah.
for example,
Or literally.
or literally. So anyhow, like, okay, he's shooting in season. He was shooting 38%, 39 for 38, I think. Again, and it's very hard because he's player who respect each and every possession, right?
Yeah.
And then, okay, you're there, you're open. Okay, you shoot, you don't feel it today. So what you gonna do now? Okay, you're gonna drive, you're gonna make layup too, you're gonna pass, you're gonna rebound, you're gonna find your rhythm. You will not force something that you don't feel comfortable in that moment, right?
Right.
So what is the older now, chicken or egg? What is the better for him to shoot 10 threes and to shoot 40%, or to be the most efficient basketball player?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a little bit, though, like we were talking earlier about the aggressiveness, that there are maybe moments when, and he does this, by the way, sometimes when you're playing, you know, the Timberwolves or something, he'll come out 4 threes in the first quarter and try to get it. But do you think it's like that, where, of course, in a vacuum, it is better to balance it out and go to where you're more efficient? Or is it a thing where if he is making 2 threes every first quarter, all of a sudden the whole defense changes?
I mean, of course. I mean, it's like if I mean, that's how it goes. Like you make 2 shots, everything changes. I mean, that's normal. But like, what you gonna do if you miss?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, yeah, in perfect world, yes. But in like,
We always say he's totally unstoppable, but
I mean, it's
if he was like a 40% 3-point shooter consistently, like he would be whatever is above unstoppable. You know?
An actual deity.
Whatever's next above perfect would be
Yeah.
that, yeah.
I mean, if he can dunk from the half court, I mean, that's even better, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, you saw it in the Slovenia game off the backboard. Did you see it?
Yeah,
To
I mean,
himself?
again.
So
it's-
maybe it's coming.
The athleticism.
Does he ever tell you, let's work on our dunks?
no.
Doesn't come up.
Let's do 1-footed dunks today.
What about this question? Because I have an answer for myself, but I'm curious if you have one too.
Let me ask one question.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
Let's say, if I tell you, now, you need to shoot, you play pick-a-ball, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you need to shoot 5 threes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You need to make 3 threes. I tell you, you need to make it.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't make it, I'm going to take your bar,
Toughest thing, yeah.
right? Can you make it? And if you just play basketball
Right.
and play to win, you're going to make those threes.
Yeah.
It's just
But I
part-
feel like that's some of the like NBA thinking.
It's not about it's
Compared to-
So it's again we are getting back on that like you
Yeah.
know, it's not about numbers, it's about efficiency. Do whatever is like
Right.
necessary that you win the game.
Yeah.
If that means that you need to make 10 threes, make 10 threes. But
Right.
if that doesn't mean do whatever is necessary.
I mean, we always joke because, you know, it's our job to talk about the game and to analyze. And when we're analyzing Jokic, it's always funny, right? Because it's like, well, he could have done this. He only had 37, 10, and 12 and shot 80%.
And his 3 shots.
But he missed that free throw, and so it's,
I hope he feels like that loss was on him.
I think that we all got spoiled with that. Like,
of course.
We're so spoiled.
well, I know how you guys feel because like same thing. Like we are watching the game, or
Yeah.
you're like watching the game, and like he played bad, and then you see his stat, you're like, whoa.
Well, maybe it wasn't so bad.
18 rebounds and triple.
Do you have a favorite game of Jokic?
I mean,
Do you have a single
he
game? or
played
something?
so many good games.
I know.
It's honestly,
But everyone has their own favorite, their own
I
little
agree.
personal.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you
Yeah,
don't.
it's like-
He's lying. He doesn't want to say it.
What
You
is
have a
your-
favorite?
What was your
Mine is the Lakers game 1 of the championship year, because I think he was perfect.
that was good game.
Like-
And then he
Lakers game
finished
one
the
is
third
a-
quarter.
that
with
was a good game. Yeah, you're
That
right.
game will
That
always stand
was-
out. I believe Game 5 against Minnesota
It was
might have been
incredible.
the best single game he's ever played. Just how
This last
freaking
year,
dominant he was, start to finish. I don't know if I've.
I mean, but that's thing like what we are talking now. Like it's like there's like probably like 15 more games like
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
don't like
So true.
Someone
That-
will come like from there and kind of be like, hey, do you remember that game?
The regular season game against New Orleans a couple of years ago, that one is in the
Multiple
conversation.
30, 20, 10 games somehow, including in the playoffs, which is insane. What about this question? I have my answer, but I'm curious if you have one. Is there a moment where you feel like Nikola took things more seriously? Not that he didn't take them serious before, but that there was a moment where he said, "You know what? I can be the best player I choose to be."
I think that year after bubble, right?
The year after the bubble?
He was like, locked in basically from the beginning
Yeah.
to the end. So I
Was
think
working out after games, every game it
I
seemed
think
like.
I think that would be like kind of like if I need to pick and choose some moment.
Yeah.
Because if there is one series, and I think, look, I think he got a tough whistle in the bubble in that Lakers series, but at the same time, Dwight Howard got under his skin. Anthony Davis was a challenge. Like, that was one where I think, even to his best efforts, he got knocked down a little bit. And so maybe that summer,
I mean, it's very hard. It's kind of like that. It's not that I just don't disagree with you, but the only thing that I want to say, this is very interesting fact. Who was the best player in the bubble?
the best player in the bubble.
In the Jamal Murray.
No, I'm not just general, like statistically, like advanced stats, like
Was it LeBron?
all the players in the like.
Was it Nikola or LeBron? Yeah, Nikola. Yeah.
It was
The answer's
like,
always Nikola.
I remember that in the Bible, like it was
Yeah.
kind of like all those advanced stats. It was a picture of Nikola, then
Yeah,
Kawhi
way
Leonard,
down
then
there,
the rest of the guys.
Right.
I mean, theoretically, yes, we're speaking about him as the best player in the
Right.
last 4 years, right? And actually, he's the best player in last 5 years.
5 years, yeah. I think you might be right about that. For me, I thought it was a Lakers matchup that happened, and I don't remember the year. It might have been 2020 after the bubble, but it might have been the year before. When I remember, it was the year he showed up. So I think it was 18, 19. Because he showed up a little bit overweight, I think. And there's pictures, and it just was the year the most, to me, it looked like, I don't know. And he was still great, still dominant. But I remember he played Anthony Davis in like December. And Anthony Davis, I thought, just ate his lunch, just
I
dominated.
mean, but that's normal. How old was he in that moment?
24.
Getting back to the man's strength, right?
Yeah. I just felt like that moment after that, you started to see him get a seriousness to him. And I'm sure it was not black and white one day,
Yeah.
but it felt like it was at least a moment to me where it was, okay, he seems to be able to beat everyone in B mode, and then he didn't. And then it was like, okay, I have to go to A mode. And from there, he's been in A mode.
Here's another coaching question. Do you work on the Sombor Shuffle?
Yes.
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Do you guys
Wow.
refer to it as the Sombor
I
Shuffle?
mean, I think that I said that we had that knee forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did it for both legs, right, left and right, left and right. And the reason why we did that, because it's always, always needs to be why you're doing something. So we work that again one more time because he's not athletic, and that gives him enough space that he can shoot his shot without of influence of defense, right? So that's how we start left or right, left, right, and then I think that he twists his ankle, and
Right.
it starts to be more natural for him to shoot of the right leg. So
Right.
he starts to only shoot from the right leg, and now that's his go-to move. But that's the thing about coaching, right? So if I need to use some kind of story, right, or comparison, it's like music, right? me as a coach, what can I do? I can teach you music, I can teach you note, I can teach you concepts, how to build up the songs or play the music. But then when you come to the certain level, then you are the guy who is writing songs and writing melody according to all those notes that we learn,
Right.
and scales and so on and so on. And like the best players and all those the great players, they are the players who are writing their own songs.
Yeah.
So that's who he is.
So he has said that he only likes to go to it in like end of shot clock when there's nothing really doing.
Exactly. That's the reason that you're using that shot is like
Yeah.
worst possible scenario shot.
Yeah.
Right. Do you
I
think?
mean, that's how we called it at the beginning. Now it's
Right.
So you guys have a content idea. You coach the Sombor Shuffle. You work on it. Do you think you could teach Eric the Sombor Shuffle?
I made a
good.
Sombor Shuffle in Sombor.
You want like you want
Honest answer.
honest-
Should we,
honest-
should we
yeah, this is-
twist his
and
ankle
this
so he has an injury? And
this
then,
is that's actually a great question. The reason being because it's not that same drills that you're gonna use for him.
Yeah,
it's
of
gonna
course.
work for you. Okay. I mean, so answer is no.
No, you cannot teach him that move.
Tough.
Tough. You have to
I'm
find your own
sorry.
signature move, dude.
Because if you coach like this is kind of like from
Yeah.
the coaching standpoint, like what is the main thing? You need to analyze with whom you're working with.
Yeah.
Who is that person? What you need? It's like almost like doctor, right? You go to the doctor and you go like, okay, I need to give you some kind of diagnosis. So
Right.
you are this and that. When I give you diagnosis, now I need to treat you, right?
Yeah.
Now treat, what are those are drills. So it's not the same medicine is going to work for you, but first and most important things, you need to anticipate or to make good diagnosis.
That is the right way to frame it, though. It is a bit of an ailment that I have, my basketball game that needs to be solved by a doctor.
Do you think, would you personally feel some pride if another player adopted the Sombor Shuffle? It's like Kevin Durant practiced all summer the Sombor Shuffle and then added it to his. Would that be cool to you? Would it be interesting if it became other players?
This is such a DNVR Nuggets podcast
Generations
question.
behind us are all practicing the new Sombor Shuffle.
You know what's going to happen like 20 years from now? Some new kid is going to show up, or maybe 10 years from now, maybe in
Yeah.
5 years, and then he's going to start to do something that suits him the best.
Right.
And that's how, and then we're going to talk about him. So
Yeah.
again, basketball
It
evolves.
evolves. Yeah, I think there's some moves though, that they stay. They get invented and people stay with them. I want to ask you about this last year. Did you have any sense that the team didn't have it last year? Was there any sense of, you saw the championship year. Was there any moment where you thought, man, I'm not sure, the injuries are piling up, the fatigue is piling up, or, you go through the series and it just played out how it played out?
I mean, we just kind of like, you just felt against Minnesota that we were just tired, We
Yeah.
didn't have it. So, I mean, that's it. Simple. There's no need for any other explanation.
How do you avoid that, do you think, this year? I mean, is it circumstantial? You just have to be healthier than you were last year. What do you think?
I mean, we're going to see. We're going to read. We need to read. We need to think about that and, clean up. Everything's about clean up.
Yeah.
I think we have to evaluate us and if we were tired at the end of the season.
Oh, I
as
was so
well.
tired.
We were exhausted.
We got to go
on this
back
show.
and watch the film. We
Yeah.
gotta-
We need to watch the film and see what we did wrong. What do you expect the mood to be of this year's training camp?
I mean, good mood, positive mood. I mean, like each and every year. So
Is it kind of the same though? You're so far away from playoffs and everything else, or is there? I just wonder. You win a title. Jamal comes back 2 years ago. Jamal comes back. It feels like that was the mood. Like our team is healthy. We've been waiting 2 years for this. There's an excitement. Last year, maybe it is defending the title is the mood. Maybe a little exhaustion even at training camp. I think I saw like, okay, that was a short break. And now this year, you come up short last year. I think the team thought probably you could win the title. Didn't happen. So that's why I ask about the mood. And then Russell Westbrook comes in. That's a whole new personality. So, but you think it's the same? Just training camp is always just training camp.
I mean, it's again. Now I can tell you like, yeah, mood is going to be unbelievable. But like,
Mood is angry.
I mean, they're all pros. They know. They already know what they need to do to win. So it's like kind of like that's reality of the situation. They're like playing at least for how many? Nikola is 10 years in NBA.
Right.
So it's like they already know Jamal is 10 years in NBA.
Yeah.
So those guys, they already know what they need to do to win. So there is no need that like I come here with some super fancy
That's
words.
more for us.
Yeah,
right?
that's what we do.
I'm curious at this point in the year, do you guys have, as the coaching staff, do you have an idea of what it's going to look like, especially when you're replacing a player like KCP in the starting lineup? Do you sort of have an idea of what the optimal rotation looks like, what the lineups are looking like, or is this something you figure out when you all come together?
I mean, we're working on that, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like you're analyzing, working, debating.
Oh,
So it's kind of like try to figure out things before it starts, and then of course, when season starts, you're usually doing those small adjustments and figure out what is the best for the team.
That's interesting. How long? When do those debates start? Those conversations with the coaching staff about what should we do?
In kind of like this period, like
Yeah.
more than less, a little bit before, like a couple days. and
Gotcha.
Are there a lot of guys back in the gym, in the arena, getting workout? I mean, training camp next week,
I mean, young guys are there,
Yeah.
which is, if you ask me, that's how it should be.
Right.
Because, there's like, again, veterans are veterans.
Right.
They already know themselves. They know what they need to do. They know how to win. They already won. And that's it. And again, young players needs to be in the gym. Let's get back to the fundamentals. First, to build up good habits and then to get better and so on and so on. So everything is as it should be.
Awesome. Do you guys have any final ones before we play a game? A quick game to get out of here?
Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's play the game.
We
Let's do
have
it.
we have a game. When we went to Serbia, we did a segment called Dev Likes, where we would try different Serbian things, and one of our co-hosts, Dev, would tell us if he likes it or not. So we're gonna play Ogi Likes. We're gonna play Ogi Likes, and we have a mix of American things and Serbian
We're
things.
going to get to the core of you, Ogi.
Yeah. So you need to tell us Ogi likes or Ogi doesn't like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to signify something you like by
Can it
taking
be
a sip
thumb
of rock,
thumb up and thumb down?
Yeah,
thumb
but you
down?
gotta say Ogi likes. Ogi doesn't like. All right, Kale, what's on our list here? What is number one for Ogi? Rakia.
That's an easy one.
This one is he.
Ogi
The
Likes.
Serbian salute, the 3 fingers up. There you go.
Ogi like. I did
Likes.
not see that one coming, I have to say.
That's a good one.
I
That's
gave you an easy one right off the top.
Oh, for sure.
Burek.
For sure.
Really? Ogi likes?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Big fan. Do you have a specific Burek? Do you like?
So this is the thing. Like if you say
Burek, yes.
So Burek, officially, if you say in Bosnia, that means Burek with meat.
Yes.
That meat pie, right? And
Yes.
I know that you know this.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you
So
telling?
if you say so the main thing, like when you're, for example, in Bosnia or people from Bosnia, you don't want to say burek with meat because burek is a burek.
Burek.
So I love burek.
You like? But do you prefer it to be a cheese pie as
That's what
opposed
he's
to a
saying.
meat
Oh,
pie?
cheese.
But
But do you drink it with
or
With the yogurt.
the yogurt? Do you drink
oh,
it?
yogurt
Oh, that's
is
the
awesome.
Yeah.
Eric doesn't like
We
it.
experienced that in
This is
Serbia.
like,
Day one,
do
actually.
you drink? Do you eat Greek yogurt?
No, I mean, not
Or
sometimes.
Bulgarian,
Sometimes.
That was the first thing we did in Serbia.
It was
Eat
105
burek with
degrees.
yogurt.
We were
At
eating
5 a.m.
yogurt. Yeah, no, that's-
That's for you to know. Like 5 a.m., best thing ever.
Yeah, it's a classic drunk food. Yeah.
yeah, we had it at about 3 p.m.
Yeah. We had it as our.
So now you got it.
Dead sober food.
What's next? Water polo. Water polo.
Oof, can I be like this?
Okay.
I have a huge appreciation to the people who plays.
Yeah.
I love them because those guys are unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're Olympic winners, great guys, great personality. Unfortunately, I'm not good in water polo,
Okay.
so I don't like to play it.
Yeah.
But I have huge respect toward people and toward the
Ogi
sport.
doesn't like.
You got an official. We doesn't like. We interpreted it for you.
We read through the lines. We read through the lines.
What else do we have? Jokic energy drink.
Oh, no.
Jokic energy drink doesn't like.
Not my drink.
There you go. What else we got here? Fire them up. Splavs.
Okay.
Ogi likes. Ogi likes.
We had some good times out at the Splavs.
Yeah.
We had some good times.
We all love the splavs.
For those who don't know, a splav, a floating nightclub.
It's a nightclub on the river.
All
Yes.
on the river in Belgrade.
That,
And there's
that
different
works until
qualities.
5 a.m.
You go to the splav, then Burke.
But wait, so but
That's
that's
the routine.
the reason for the splav is there's some sort of legality that they're skirting by floating. Is that what's happening?
They fall under maritime law.
This seems
That's
like,
what I'm
this seems
asking,
like
like-
a question for you.
I don't know
You
the
should-
answer.
You should know this.
I don't know the answer. It's just, it seems like they're not bound to the laws of the land or something.
We got to get back to the Splavs, man. We got to get back.
We all need.
Take us out to Serbia to the Splavs next time. The Rocky Mountains.
Oh,
Oh, I love it.
Do you go to the
No,
mountains?
Ogi Likes.
Do you go to the mountains?
Likes.
You know, you go hiking and different things. All right, Ogi Likes. He's true Coloradan with the medal and everything.
Goran is officially apologizing to us for the yogurt.
So funny. I know, it was good. It made a great story.
Our
Goran.
awesome tour guide.
Our tour guide when we were out there. All right, what else we got here? Couple more. Air conditioning.
That's a good one. That's the best one. I need to explain this one. This is the best one. The reason being because like generally in Europe, but at home, like it was when we were grow up, it was like okay, air condition is bad for you.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not real.
This is a conversation I
air.
have to this day.
So exactly. So now I came. Last 10 years I live here and I get to used to AC, right?
great.
And it's great, right? Now when I get back home during the summer,
You're
right?
dying.
There is no AC. I'm like, okay, can someone bring me AC? Like, turn on AC. No, you cannot.
Do you hear this,
Anyhow,
Serbian?
so my answer is yes.
Ogi Likes.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude. Can,
Ogi
can you
Likes.
can you once and for all dispel the concept of promaya for anybody listening here? You're not going to get
Promaya.
sick and
Promaya,
you're not going to get
ooh.
sick and die from whatever.
Yes. That's Serbian enemy number one.
That's the number one killer. The number one killer.
Number one killer.
All right, what else do we have? Partisan!
Oh, that's a good
You don't
one.
have to answer
We're
this
just kidding,
one.
we're just kidding.
We're putting you in the crosshairs.
Yeah, I know,
We're just kidding. We're just
I
kidding.
stopped to be fan when I was younger. So
Oh, yeah. That's what everybody says. Is that the last one, Kel? All righty. Ogi, this was great stuff, man.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming on, having a little rocky with us, sharing some stories.
Let's have a little more, maybe.
Yeah.
finally.
Givali, let's toast this interview, shall we?
All right, have a little more. Givali. Everybody, do we have any super chats, Kel? We got to get to them. No super chats? Awesome. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. More stuff planned for the rest of the week.
You see that? He's Serbian. He's Serbian, dude. It's not just us.
We all silly like the mayor.